And here's our slideshow. So let's begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. The challenging, chaotic, and ever changing conditions that today's leaders have to deal with are numerous and daunting. Yet the ideas, ideals, and insights of leadership being used by most leaders are still based upon outdated, impractical, and useless philosophies and principles. So I would like to examine 5 of your most difficult challenges and explain some of the ways I help my clients assess, approach, and adjust their leadership actions from merely surviving to robustly generating wealthy impacts on their operations, stakeholders, and their organizational growth. If this sounds good to you, please focus your attention, take useful notes, and eliminate all your other distractions as we take this journey together. In chapters 1 and 24 in the classical book of Proverbs, the collection of wise, profound, and truthful sayings written by King Solomon, who most historians consider to be the wisest, wealthiest, and greatest ruler of all the national and world kings and princes reported in all 66 books of the entire Bible. In these proverbs, King Solomon shares his best secrets for success, happiness, and prosperity with leaders and others. In particular, the bulk of these proverbs is filled with Solomon's recommendations to leaders that encourages us to diligently seek out, openly appreciate the value of, and passionately embrace wisdom, knowledge, understanding, a reverential piety, and respect for God's authority, and the Lord's correction and disciplining of leaders, as well as encouraging us to embrace a heart of peace and humility. These two partial lists depict the work and craft of leadership responsibilities, authority, roles, and styles, yet our focus on these actions form the very reasons why many leadership development programs fail their students. There are plenty of courses that will teach you how to budget your cash and time, or train and coach your employees, or organize and lead team meetings, and more. There are articles, papers, videos, books that will help you play the role of a COI, a center of influence, adopt a more service driven style or democratic style of leading people. However, you and I have more ambitious landscapes and challenging topographies to traverse in the adventure that we'll embark upon today. Because if we hope to improve the effectiveness of your leadership performances, we'll need to examine the purposes, power, positioning, and processes of leadership. We'll also have to explore a few of the beneficial effects that leaders should endeavor to satisfy. And finally, we'll need to explain how you can improve, increase, and substantially impact the wealth generating potential of your own leadership performances and enrich the level of contributions made by your partners and associates too. How should you position yourself to evaluate, address, and solve these 5 key challenges? However, if you ever hope to understand the implications of and eventually tame the radically differentiated forces of change operating all around our world, you'll need to think strategically and critically about how the current models of technologies, the effects of social energies, and the complexities of synergistic processes affect your leadership performances. I call these forces radical because they represent the extremely fundamental, substantial, characteristic tendencies which cause change, volatility, uncertainty, ambiguity, and the appearance of chaotic confusion in our world. However, most leaders know something about the nature, traits, and attributes of those forces. What leaders need to understand is what gives these conditions their challenging attributes and how leaders should apply their knowledge to begin the process of unleashing their own resources and using their actions, expertise, and abilities to tame those radical forces. Later, we'll explain how many concepts shown on this map can help leaders tame these radical rascals. Any leaders who wish to optimize their organizational results will first need to learn how to creatively shape, elegantly develop, and productively deploy the awesome wealth producing capabilities of their human capital assets, impacts, and resources. Later on, we'll take a few moments to fully examine these ideas behind the domains of human capital, and most importantly, we'll discuss a few strategies you can use to unlock, unleash, and understand the wealth generating potential of your own treasure trove of human capital. Of course, you should become that type of leader who recognizes the importance of developing strengths driven philosophies, priority based policies, and procedural frameworks in guiding, nurturing, and engineering great scientific, structural, or spiritual performances. Once you understand the secret potential of your leadership power applications, your leadership performances are sure to become more agile, effective, and efficient, and to help you guide great performance results in the contributions that you and your employees make. We'll also describe approaches you can take that will help you improve your organizational growth, sustainability, and impacts. Resourceful leaders use their imaginations to efficiently leverage time, they significantly communicate their foundational meanings, and they design systematic activities to signal critical indicators for creative ventures. Leadership excellence is easily achieved when you use these four ideas. Discovering and exploiting profit building opportunities demands game changing mental positions, allocation strategies, and applications of your leadership power. So are you ready to broaden the scale, scope, and spectrum of your leadership skills and start solving the many challenges of our wild, weird, and woolly world? Let's launch a universe frontiering expedition into that vastness of space time where the dimensions are multiplied and limitless. It's a place where even the outer limits or the twilight zone seem small and insignificant. Like wise King Solomon told us, we will need to utilize the full resources of our minds, hearts, eyes, and ears as those body parts help to lift up our soul and spirit and senses to their highest heights of attainment, achievement, and accomplishment. So, one of the ways that we do this is by putting together all five of those challenges and then decomposing, deconstructing, and deciphering how we can develop strategies which leverage and optimize and maximize our leadership abilities, strengths, and insights to their best and highest potential. And that's what the rest of this webinar series will do as we finish out our webinar series called Leadership Power Paradigms. Now, as you're looking at this page, which describes the Leadership Power Paradigms Producer Tools Program, you will see that this has a number of resources, materials, and services which help leaders to improve their performances and to increase the wealth producing achievements of their employees. I recommend that you take a look on the right side of your screen if you're in our webinar room and click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button that you see on the right side, and it will open up a new web browser tab or new web browser window for you, and it'll take you to the page which fully describes this awesome program, which is truly a remarkable educational experience. If you are not in the webinar room, then simply type in www.one-iam.com/LPP-tools. That's the web link that you see right in the middle of the slide there in your screen. That's once again, it's www.one-iam.com/LPP-tools. And for those of you who are in the webinar room, just simply click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button and read through that page at your leisure. And if you like what you see, don't forget that I always offer my full money back guarantee, no questions asked, no hassle guarantee to you, so that you can actually try out this program and know that you're not going to have the risk of having to pay for it if you're not satisfied, or you're not getting anything out of it, or you just don't think that this is for you. So you get a complete trial of that. So that's not a problem. I always encourage people to say, hey, listen, I have nothing to lose. I might actually find myself becoming a more effective leader as a result of this. So, okay. With all of that, I'm going to run over back to my control panel and send you the links to our 2 bonus gifts for attending today's episode of Leadership Power Paradigm. So if you give me just a quick second, I'll do just that. Okay, I've just sent off the links to the 2 bonus gifts that I have for those of you attending the live, as well as those of you attending the replay recording of this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. And I want to thank you for joining us today. The first bonus gift is our 5 Leadership Uplifter Tasks infographic. That is a 1-page PDF document, which I encourage you to download, print out. Take that 1 sheet of paper, no matter what the size of your paper, the bigger the paper, the easier it is to see the infographic. The smaller the paper, you'll still be able to see the infographic, so that's not a problem either. Print it out, put it on your desk, or put it on a wall where you can refer to it as you go through your day, and just ask yourself, hey, am I actually performing one or more of these 5 tasks? If you are performing one of them, you will see that your leadership effectiveness is greatly increased. And if you're not performing one or more of those 5 leadership uplifter tasks, then you'll probably find that you'll have some difficulty or a little bit of a challenge, or your people will, with the leadership that you are hoping to demonstrate to them and to yourself. And the second bonus gift that I have for you is the 8-page Words with Wisdom PDF paper. And once again, download that, print it out, and read through it. It contains a bunch of strategies and principles and processes and techniques, and even a tool or two that you can use to help you improve your leadership performances, regardless of the level of leadership that you practice at this point in time. And that way you can even take notes and write out some of your ideas and some of your insights as you read through that paper as well. It is only 8 pages long, but it's packed with wisdom and wise things. That's why we call it Words with Wisdom, I guess, right? Okay, so if you are on the replay recording, I strongly encourage you to use the question box that you see on the right side of your screen. Just simply type in your question or your comment, okay, and do it in the question area, your question or your comment, and then press the email us or email now button, and it will send me your email address, your name, which is what you needed to use to register for your for for your replay recording, and and it will also send me the question or comment about leadership or management that you wanted me to answer for you, and I will, in fact, do exactly that. So all you need to do is type in your question or comment in the question box, press the email us. My system knows that knows your name, it knows your email address, and it will send that along with your question or comment right directly to my email address, and I will reply back to you, which I do for everybody who asks a question or makes a comment. Okay, so um, with all of that said, I'm going to say I leave it up to you to take the next action. This has been another episode, and thank you for joining us in this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. I wish you all the very best of success. God bless each and every one of you. Godspeed to you all. And I wish you all the very best of success in all of your leadership endeavors. Take care and be well.